The reports say that Aaron Rodgers is gone because he's had a trip planned while he was rehabbing. Now, the trip that he was planning during his rehab schedule, it overlapped with the mandatory minicamp schedule. James Jones is a former teammate of Aaron Rodgers, and I will be honest, James, I don't want to yell. Yeah, so what I'm going to ask is that you and Jordan Schultz to switch spots. So I need to talk to the heart. I don't need to talk to the head right now, James Jones. I need to talk to your heart.
It depends what kind of talk
if
this
you do not mind, I just need to talk to your heart.
Just remind me.
Right here, viewers at home.
I
need to pierce this man's soul real quick. James Jones, please,
see
sir.
How close I'm gonna get, though.
Please, sir.
Okay.
Please,
James
sir.
is liable to walk off, so.
He is. Now, here is what, and as we look at this beautiful picture of James Jones and his Super Bowl champ teammate behind us. Jordan, here's what I don't understand. Jordan, here's what I don't. Viewers at home, here's what I don't understand. James, I have gone to war with you for Aaron Rodgers.
Yes,
of all the men that were not Aaron Rodgers' former teammate, I am most proud of the player and talent that he is.
Yes, you were.
I could not be more disappointed with Aaron Rodgers' absence. I could not be more disappointed with the fact that Aaron Rodgers, who has not done anything in New York with the Jets, is skipping a mandatory minicamp. Here's what I know. I don't know about y'all at home. If somebody asked me to simply give away 4% of my net worth, I wouldn't want to do it. But there are only 75 practices that are mandatory during the course of an NFL season. Missing these mini-camp practices is roughly 4%. I do not like Aaron Rodgers of the New York Jets giving away 4% of his practice schedule. Aaron Rodgers is not currently the best quarterback in football, James Jones. He's a great quarterback, but he's not the best quarterback in football. So if you do not have a lead, how in the world do you want to give up the deficit that you're already sitting at? Furthermore, starting left tackle, Tyron Smith, first year with the Jets. Starting right tackle, Morgan Moses, first year with the Jets. Starting left guard, first year with the Jets. Running back, he was injured. It's his third season, so really it's his second season. Backup running back, Braylon Allen, first year with the Jets. Center, second year with the Jets, really his first year with Rodgers because Rodgers got hurt after 4 plays. Wide receiver 2, it's his first year with the Jets. Wide receiver number 1, it's his third year with the Jets, but it's the second year with Rodgers, but Rodgers was hurt last year, so it's really his first year with Rodgers. Head coach is his second year with Rodgers, but Rodgers was hurt last year, so again, it's really his first year with Aaron Rodgers. You don't have the luxury to give up practice days. You do not have the luxury. You are already behind, and you're going to give up these practice days to make you further behind. I needed you to be right here because I wanted to make sure you heard every single syllable and enunciation that came out of my mouth when I said this. I'm disappointed. How disappointed are you in the man who you won a Super Bowl with? You say he's the best all time. Yeah. I want to agree with you.
Yeah. You know who I'm disappointed in?
Who?
You. Emmanuel Acho. I am disappointed in you, Emmanuel Acho. Do you know what they did last year with this mandatory minicamp?
They canceled it.
They canceled it.
I'll get there.
As important as this mandatory minicamp is, 4%, Robert Saleh said we're going to cancel it. I am very, very proud of my man Aaron Rodgers. I am very, very proud.
Foolish.
And this is why I'm very proud. Since Aaron Rodgers has become a New York Jet, he has done everything right except get hurt. Off-season program last year, my dog ain't missed no days. He hanging out with his teammates, hanging out with the young fellas, basketball games, hockey games, whatever, building relationships, right? Then he tears his Achilles. He's on the sideline in meetings, all everybody said, look at him trying to get all this attention. Look at him trying to take the attention away from other people and all this, right? So my mama always used to tell me, son, you can't please everybody. And I think with the Aaron Rodgers situation right now, there's nothing my dog cannot do without people talking about it, and he cannot please everybody. We talking about mandatory minicamp. Let me just tell you the mandatory minicamps that I was a part of when I played, all right? First day, you go out there, you have a little practice, no veterans take any reps. The second day, team bonding activity, paintballing, ice hockey, whatever you want to do, team bonding activity, right? The third day, go home. So I know everybody is really jumping on this mandatory word, but it is not that serious with mandatory. Now, if Aaron Rodgers, I am not lying. If Aaron Rodgers would have went through this voluntary OTAs and was not there, then we have a problem. We're talking about a 3-day practice where you don't never even use all 3 days, and they used none of them last year, Acho. Now, I don't know if it was different for you, but I played with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, and this is what it was for us. It meant absolutely nothing. Hey, good to see you. That's what it meant. Ooh, you look like you're working out, big dog. That's what it meant. It's good to see your face. But other than that, we not working. We not doing none of that. So this right here, I'm disappointed in Acho.
Joy, here's my issue with everything that James is saying. In Green Bay, James Jones, you had a head coach who had been there for years. I believe Mike McCarthy showed up in 2006. He was there until maybe 2018, 2019, something along those lines. No doubt about it. Y'all had consistency. The wide receiver core, consistent. You had Donald Driver, you had Greg Jennings. You have Greg Jennings, you had James Jones. You have James Jones, you had Jordan Nelson. You had Jordan Nelson, you had Randall Cobb. You had Randall Cobb, you had Devontae Adams. Consistency. I don't think, Joy, that the Jets have the luxury of canceling practice like this, because you saw they did it last year, and you saw where it got them. Now, mandatory minicamp in Philadelphia was vastly different. It was vastly different. Mandatory minicamp was for the Philadelphia Eagles. Vastly different. We actually practiced mandatory minicamp. You can actually compete against the offense. During OTAs, you really can't compete against the offense. So it meant something to us. But, Joy, Aaron Rodgers is a career underachiever as it pertains to team success. Even I, the most staunch advocate for Rodgers, can say he's a career underachiever for team success. I don't think he has the luxury of giving away practice. He just gave it away. He said, Bills taking advantage. Miami Dolphins taking advantage. Patriots taking advantage. Joy, I just don't think he has the luxury to give away practice. Do you think James should be disappointed in Rodgers? What are your thoughts about it? Just take it. Just take it. Here. Take it. Take it. You'll have it.
But he said it's not practice.
I'm pretty tough on Rodgers.
You are? Rightfully so.
You are.
Mostly because it's not because I don't think he's super talented. He's an incredibly talented player, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the most talented quarterbacks that we've seen, one of the most talented humans that we've seen play the game. He just doesn't have the team success, I think, that puts him into the categories of some of the other men that we compare him to. I also think there's plenty of things to be critical of him for. I don't think he's the best leader. I think he's, made some, questionable choices with the media from time to time. I think he should not talk about Martin Luther King Jr. There's some things that I think he just needs to stay away from. But a minicamp, I have like an outrage meter,
okay.
And like once it's full, it's really got to be something crazy to push me over the edge. And like, I don't know, maybe I listened to my peaceful song, before we started the show. I'm in a good mood. I just don't. Go to our social media page and you'll find out what I'm talking about. I can't get outraged over this.
Why?
Because it's a 2-day minicamp and Rodgers has been in the league for 100 years.
Sure.
And yes, I don't think that the Jets are a well-run organization. I think that we are vastly exaggerating what they are capable of based off of the consistency that they've had over the years, especially in the postseason. I think Aaron Rodgers has a lot to prove, all of these things. But what are you actually accomplishing in a 2-day minicamp? Like, if you're Aaron Rodgers. I get the optics of it. So from an optics perspective, sure, go to minicamp. It's 2 days, move your trip around, whatever. But as far as like how this is actually going to affect the season, everything is something, right? Nothing is everything, everything is something. So sure, right? You're missing days with greatness, grind, every second matters. Okay, but we're all adults and we're all really great at what we do. I'm having a hard time taking this mandatory missed and excused absence and conflating it with overall team success for Aaron Rodgers. And I think I'm a pretty tough judge of him and his career. I can't be moved to outrage and emotion over this.
Here's why I am, Schultz. Here's why I am. And then I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Here's why I am.
Okay, before you go,
yes, sir.
Can I just ask you a question?
Please, whatever you want.
Because you're about to go.
Whatever you want.
With Aaron Rodgers being there at this minicamp, what is this team going to accomplish with him being there on the offensive side of the ball at this minicamp?
Great question. I believe that Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses would the tackles.
They just came out of 37 OTA practices.
Sure. Okay. But during those OTA practices, you're not allowed to do 9-on-7. You're not allowed to do a full speed 7-on-7. You're not allowed to do live 11-on-11. Again, if you didn't do, teams are different. Every team is different. So to say what y'all did in Green Bay, I can't argue that. I can't deny that. But what I can say is you're allowed to have 3 mandatory minicamp practices. They only have 2. So off rip, I'm upset that you got rid of 1. After last year, getting rid of the 3. So, you're already playing from behind. What do I believe could be accomplished is this. The offensive line could benefit from hearing the cadences, from hearing the snap counts more over and over and over again. Hearing, hey, are we going on Monday, Sunday, Tuesday, et cetera? NASCAR, are we going hurry up? I believe the receivers could benefit from understanding, hey, if Aaron Rodgers does this, it's a back shoulder. I believe that the running backs could benefit from different things. I just believe that it's not about Rodgers. Joy is correct. I don't think Rodgers needs it. I think everybody else around Aaron Rodgers, it's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think they need it. The team can only go as far as a leader.
Acho, they just came out of OTAs. You think they ain't did 1,000 cadences? No, I mean, you think they ain't did 1,000 cadences
They
and
have.
1,000 signals? So what we talking about?
Here's what we're
Acho?
talking about. And I need to get Jordan in. Here's what we're talking about. I remember working out my senior year. I'll never forget. I remember working out my senior year. And in college during the workouts, you could either work out during the summer, 6 a.m., y'all know this, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 a.m., summer workouts. But I remember my coach came up to me, Jeff Mad Dog Madden, and he said, hey, Acho, everybody around the country is working out right now. This isn't when you gain your advantage. You gain your advantage when you work out when they're not working out. Because everybody working out at 6, 8, 10, 12. At Texas, at Penn State, at LSU, at Michigan, at San Jose State, at Pitt, everybody. You gain your advantage in the small windows. To me, Rodgers, gain your advantage now. Because Josh Allen, he's there. Tua Tagovailoa, he's there. How did the San Francisco 49ers lose the Super Bowl in overtime? It's a game of inches. We don't say it figuratively. It's literal. Jordan Schultz, please.
Acho, what are you, Al Pacino on any given Sunday here? It's a game of inches.
It is.
First of all, who am I?
I've never heard you once say, man, the Niners lost that Super Bowl because back in minicamp, I seen Brock Purdy miss this throw. Acho.
Can he go?
Yes, he
can.
can.
I listen to Jordan Schultz?
Who am I to tell James Jones, who won a Super Bowl with the dude?
He did a long time ago.
So there you
To
go.
say, okay, he should.
There you go.
No, a long time ago.
There you go. The ring's still shining.
He should have worn the ring.
The ring's still shining.
No, I have zero issue with it for a couple reasons. Number one, he was there when he didn't have to be there. To your point, gaining an advantage, Acho, when no one else is working. He didn't have to be there.
Sure.
He was there last year, by the way.
I can't hear him.
I can.
When Zach Wilson took over to try and help the kid get better.
Leash.
Rodgers knew he wasn't playing, right?
Talk about
He
that.
still shows up mid-season to say, I'm here for you, Zach. I'm going to help you every way I can, even though I'm not going to be on the field. And then as the Jets tried to make a playoff push, didn't work, Rodgers tried to get back and be a part of the roster. So I have no issue with it. I also talked to a few Jets players, offensively and defensively, veterans and young players. They all echoed the same sentiment. Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers. We know that when it counts, he's going to be the guy. We have no issue with this. This was important to him. He's not here. That's fine. So bottom line, whether or not the Jets have success this season has zero implication with these 3 days not being there. It's mandatory, but we know it's more suggested than anything for someone
That's
like Aaron
just
Rodgers.
to me, Joy. That's just a lie. Like it is a lie to say the Jets' success is not. Now again, obviously, I'm not sitting here saying that because he missed minicamp, they won't win the Super Bowl. No, but if you make too many exceptions, you'll never be exceptional. Ever. Hall of Fame coach told me that. If you make too many exceptions, you will never be exceptional. The great teams, the great players, the great coaches, they do stuff like this. I wish Shady was here, James, because he would tell you this. Tom Brady,
tripping because we talked about this yesterday.
Tom Brady got penalized for working too hard. Remember during COVID, you couldn't work out with people, and Tom Brady snuck a workout in with Mike Evans, and he got penalized for it. He snuck a family. He got penalized for working too hard. And Aaron Rodgers is skipping mandatory minicamp. Do you not see the juxtaposition there,
But
John?
this is mini camp, though.
We're in June, dog.
Acho.
Bro.
Acho.
Acho, this isn't week 9, bro.
But not only that, Acho,
But
he's been there for 2 years, and he hasn't missed
this was
nothing
last
off-season-wise.
year-
He was there when it didn't matter, right?
Acho, are you listening to that?
My heart hurts.
He has not missed
literally,
nothing
my heart hurts.
off-season-wise.
I don't like- listen,
Voluntary.
I don't like saying nice things about the Jets, okay? Because it usually backfires on me. But I can't conflate this too much. Like he's been there. To everything Jordan said, he showed up to things he didn't have to show up to. He's been a bit out of character with trying to, take the guys out. Like he's done all the things he's supposed to do. He got hurt. This isn't his first year there.
And still
It's
tried to
2
be there when
days.
he was hurt.
Okay, some of you entertained the idea that he was going to have some miraculous comeback.
No,
He's baby
I'm just
Jesus
saying
or
he was
something.
there.
He's the one guy on earth who's going to tear his Achilles.
Joy, let me ask you this.
No, come back or not, but I'm just saying he's there.
At the end.
He could have been at the
It was a
crib.
ridiculous time.
Joy, let me
Nobody
ask-
believed that.
let me
But I appreciate the effort to come back from an Achilles before the season.
I want to ask you a question, Joy. I want to ask Joy Taylor a question. Family, I'm asking Joy Taylor a question.
Don't try to switch her. She done told you how she feels.
No, but Joy like Shady McCoy are very adamant, and I hear it. I don't fully agree with it, but I hear it every time they say it, that Aaron Rodgers, he ain't done enough to be considered one of the greats. He has one Super Bowl,
No, he's one of the greats. Not one of the greatest.
Yes, but he hasn't done enough to be the greatest, you could argue.
Correct.
Whatever the case may be, even to be in the conversation.
He's not in the upper room.
Yes. If you're Aaron Rodgers, to me, you just don't have the luxury to miss minicamp. No other quarterback in all of the National Football League is missing minicamp. Minicamp has been on the schedule, family, since the season. So, Rodgers, you can plan your vacation around said season. Now, I understand what you all are saying, that, like, it's not the middle of the season. Fascinating. But I would also suggest Noah didn't wait till it started raining to build the ark. By the time it's in the middle of the season, it's too late to get better. It's too late to get better. It's too
Noah's Ark.
late to
The
get
Jets are going to
better.
need more than a holy power.
Joy, does Rodgers have the luxury? Like, given the fact that the Jets haven't made the playoffs since 2010, they haven't won a playoff game, I think, in, I don't know, but in a long time, since Mark Sanchez was there. Does Aaron Rodgers have the luxury to miss minicamp when no other quarterback in the National Football League, Aaron Rodgers makes $400,000 per mandatory day in the NFL? I've done the math. Does he have the luxury to miss minicamp?
Well, financially, obviously, he does.
Of course,
yeah.
but legacy-wise.
Legacy.
I want to answer this question.
Look,
I'm talking to Joy.
I will say this. I will admit a bit of bias here.
Okay.
Right? Like, I think I've made it very clear how I feel about the Jets this year. Like, I'm in very much prove-it mode. They could be great. They could be terrible. We don't know. I don't know anything about the Jets. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to look like. Maybe he looks like an MVP. Maybe he doesn't throw for over 300 yards the entire season. Maybe he doesn't make it through the season healthy. Maybe he has an average year. I have absolutely no idea what Aaron Rodgers is going to look like or how they're going to play. I think the defense will be good, solid to good in that range. Maybe great.
Sure.
I have absolutely no idea what the Jets are going to be. So, that being said, and the consistent underachieving or just achieving, because they've been bad teams as well, Robert Saleh has not won a lot of games. I don't know what they are. So my expectations for the Jets, the bar is in hell.
Sure.
Because I do not know what they're going to be. Could be great, could be bad. So when I hear this story, I'm like,
It fits.
It fits. Like, I can't be outraged, but I wouldn't be outraged over it anyway because it's minicamp. Nothing is everything. Everything is something. I hear what you're saying. You gain the advantages in the margins, right? Like when you work, you gain the advantage when you work when no one's watching. I hear all of that. I'm just trying to figure out what they could actually get better at in 2 days in minicamp. Because I'm with you on all the hard work and the greatness and having to be better. Hello, look at me, look at y'all. I didn't get here by accident. I get it, okay? But I'm just saying in 2 days, I don't know what more they could do in 2 days. If he's out for a week, if he doesn't show up to training camp, I'm with you. But they just...
No.
But it should be three. They've made it two.
Hold on.
Why am I holding, James?
Because the other day, when we had an Aaron Rodgers topic, you said, and
He's the greatest.
You said he's the greatest talent that you've ever seen, and you praised him and praised him and praised him.
Yes.
I believe you went on the lines of saying, it's not people made like Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Talent-wise, all this, right?
Yes.
And now you're telling me that 3 practices he needs. That sounds crazy.
No, he's saying that the team needs it with him. Like Aaron Rodgers is not going to.
But the team is there. But we're talking about.
Right, but they're not there with him, and he's the best player, and he's the leader, and he's the face of the organization. Right? I hear all that.
Practices though, about 3 practices being an issue. Like he is not going to be the Aaron Rodgers that we are expecting him to be. That's what we're talking about. Just like when you play a football season, it's certain dudes that get hurt, and it's certain dudes that's special that don't need to practice.
Sure.
And they're gonna get out in the game and they're gonna get busy.
Sure.
And it ain't gonna be like, oh man, he ain't practicing, he ain't gonna be no good, because they are like that. I just came out of OTAs when I practiced 100 times with y'all. Green 18, they know that. They know that. If they don't know that by all these OTAs, then that's the coach's fault. They know that.
I self-admittedly always speak from my experience, and maybe I'm too personal here. because I was a glue guy on the roster. The glue guys on the roster were the backups, the special teams players, the players that nobody talks about, but they actually hold the roster together. They're the dudes who do the grunt work. James Jones led the league in receiving touchdowns. I would suggest he was not a glue guy. LeSean McCoy, all-decade running back, not a glue guy. Superstar. Aaron Rodgers, not a glue guy. I wish Aaron Rodgers were present for the glue guys, because coming from my experience, if the quarterback ain't there and if it's not that important to him, it can't be that important to me. You know this. You're a father of two. You already know what type of time it is. More is caught than is taught.
You know what?
Hold on, James Jones. I'm cooking.
I got you.
I'm cooking.
I got you.
More is caught than is taught. So if it's not that important to Rodgers, why is it that important to Braylon Allen?
Because
why is
he's
it that
a grown man who has
Williams?
bills to pay. He's a professional.
But we know what type of time it is. Like within those confinements and those walls, everybody's watching how everybody else acts. That's why certain teams get rid of certain superstar players, because they don't want those superstar players' personalities and energies to matriculate into other parts of the locker room. We've seen that with other teams in the AFC East. I will not name names, Buffalo Bills wide receivers. So, with that being said, it's not about Rodgers. Rodgers don't need to be there for Rodgers. James Jones, Rodgers needs to be there for Williams, for Smith, for Moses, for Allen, for Hall, for Lazard.
You know what I'm disappointed in, right? Because you are quarterback, right? You run. No, hold on. You read the prompters and all that type of stuff. You lead the show. You take us to commercial. You are quarterback. You left us yesterday for an appearance. What? So you left us yesterday for an appearance. So you know what? We switch the topic. It's Jordan.
Hold on.
It's Jordan.
Hold on 1 second.
Because you left us.
Hold on. Let me tell you this much, James Jones.
Oh, boy.
If it was a mandatory day.
They all mandatory.
James Jones. You see, here's the difference, James. If it was like a mandatory speak day,
okay,
your boy not leaving.
So after this commercial,
your boy not leaving.
I can get going after the
on
commercial.
no mandatory speak days, and that's the difference.
You are quarterback, dog. We need you here.
I'm here.
You weren't here yesterday.
I'm here.
You missed a mandatory minicamp day yesterday, and we didn't get better. It's gonna hurt our ratings chances because you missed the day. Come on, man.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.